In late 2007, as the American-Iraq War is winding down, U.S. President George W. Bush declares victory over the Al-Qaeda terrorists, and rebuilding operations were underway. Sergeant Shane Matthews, a sniper, and his spotter, Sergeant Alan Isaac, are assigned to investigate a pipeline construction site in the Iraqi desert. All the Marines protecting the site had been killed by an unknown assailant. Matthews and Isaac are tasked with assessing the security situation before another troop could be deployed. They spent 22 hours hidden among the thickets and rocks, closely observing the area, before concluding that the site was secure. Down the valley, Marines are seen unresponsive, assumed to be killed by gun headshots. Sergeant Matthews gets impatient, assuming there are no more Iraq terrorists left. He moves down the hill to investigate the site, though he is opposed by Isaac. He gives him cover as he continues down the valley. After taking a patrol, he witnesses several Marines dead. Matthews alerts Isaac that something was not right at the site, since all the dead bodies had sniper headshots. He moves around trying to estimate the source of the shots in protest of Isaac, who begs him to retreat from the valley. Unfortunately, Matthew is shot in the leg by a hidden Iraq sniper. Sergeant Isaac immediately moves down to rescue him, running in zigzag style to dodge the sniper shot, but suddenly he is also shot and wounded in the right leg. During the incident, Isaac's radio is damaged, and his water bottle is shattered. He runs for cover behind a crumbling wall, inspecting the wound on his knee with growing concern. Meanwhile, Matthews, gravely injured, calls out Isaac for help. Isaac tells him, "I can't help," that the sniper is closely monitoring the area and will shoot if he makes any sudden moves. Despite his injuries, Isaac uses a belt as a tourniquet above his wound to minimize bleeding. Isaac attempts to contact headquarters using his radio, but discovers it has no signal because the sniper has destroyed the antenna. Determined, he makes a small hole in the wall to position his rifle scope, but injures his hand in the process. Matthews eventually loses consciousness due to severe blood loss. Realizing his own condition is deteriorating, Isaac uses a knife to remove the bullet from his leg. The procedure causes him to faint from the pain and blood loss. After several hours, Isaac regains consciousness to the sound of a voice coming through his earpiece. The caller identifies himself as an officer from headquarters. Isaac begins reporting the situation on the field and requests medical supplies. The officer instructs him to identify his exact position or stand and shoot into the sky so that the helicopter can accurately drop the supplies. This raises Isaac's suspicions, as the suggestion violates security protocols and puts his life at risk. Isaac soon realizes the caller is not an Allied officer, but the Iraqi sniper known as Juba, who is tuned into the American radio channel. Juba, a pseudonym for several Al-Qaeda snipers, is infamous for filming their attacks and assassinations of American Marines. Isaac tries to contact headquarters for help, but his efforts fail due to the loss of his radio antenna. Meanwhile, Juba threatens to kill Matthews if Isaac refuses to engage with him. Isaac continues communicating while sketching a map of the site in the dirt, trying to pinpoint the sniper's location. During their exchange, Juba shares details about his life, revealing he was once a teacher who became a soldier to defend his country. He then asks Isaac to share his own story. Isaac mocks Juba, accusing him of murdering people who are working to rebuild the country by constructing schools and infrastructure to strengthen the economy. Juba chuckles, countering that America is merely exploiting and looting Iraq. Spotting a dead soldier nearby, Isaac realizes the soldier might have a functioning radio. He crawls toward the body and finds a piece of wood, which proves useless. Desperate for water, he checks the fallen soldier's bottle, only to find it empty due to a puncture. Juba taunts him, saying he will die slowly from dehydration and that no rescue is coming. In response, Isaac mocks Juba again, calling him a terrorist. Angered, Juba retorts that it is Americans who invade other countries with weapons of mass destruction to kill innocent people. Amid the tense conversation, Isaac carefully adjusts his scope and becomes convinced that Juba is hiding at the top of trash heap. Determined to provoke Juba, Isaac accuses him of being a former U.S. soldier who deserted, but Juba denies this, insisting he is just a regular Iraqi soldier. Isaac then attempts to deceive Juba by placing his helmet and jacket on his rifle and raising it over the wall to mimic his presence. However, the helmet falls over to the other side of the wall, exposing him to greater risk of a headshot. Frustrated and overwhelmed, Isaac breaks down in tears. After composing himself, he moves towards a dead soldier, retrieving a body bag and a radio. Under a hail of bullets from Juba, he manages to run back to his cover. Upon checking the bag, he finds a bottle of water and some candy which he eats rushing, but the radio is also damaged and non-functional. Juba then fires a shot, causing part of the wall to collapse and damaging Isaac's rifle scope. Later, Matthews regains consciousness, and Isaac realizes he is still alive. Isaac explains the suspected location of the sniper, and Matthews carefully uses a shard of glass to pinpoint the sniper's position. Despite his injuries, Matthews begins crawling through the sandstorm to retrieve his rifle. To distract Juba and keep his focus from Matthews, Isaac engages him in conversation. During their exchange, Juba reveals that he is seeking revenge for his students who were killed in Baghdad during American attacks. Once Matthews reaches his rifle, he fires several shots at the top of the trash heap, believing the sniper is hiding there. To add to the confusion, Isaac fires shots into the air, making it seem like the gunfire is coming from him. However, as the sandstorm clears, the sniper spots Matthews and shoots him in the left shoulder. Wounded, Matthews desperately tries to crawl toward the wall where Isaac is hiding. Isaac encourages him to come closer with the rifle, but Matthews is struck by a second shot to the head, killing him instantly. Isaac, overwhelmed and nervous, tells Juba that he just wants to go home. Juba responds by telling him to leave, promising not to shoot him, but Isaac hesitates. Juba then questions why the Americans are still in Iraq when the war is over. In defiance, Isaac vows to stay and seek revenge by killing him. As Isaac mourns his partner lying dead on the ground, he hears strange noises on the radio. Desperate, he attempts to communicate with headquarters to call for rescue, but the signal is one-sided. He can hear transmissions but cannot respond. To his surprise, Juba joins the radio conversation, impersonating himself as Isaac and requesting backup. Isaac realizes that Juba has been hacking the radio communications, pretending to be an American soldier in distress to lure response teams to the site, only to ambush and kill them. After some time, Isaac wakes up in pain as a crow pecks at his wound. Determined, he uses a rope and stick to retrieve Matthew's sniper rifle and aims at the trash heap where he suspects Juba is hiding. As he hears the response team's helicopter approaching, Isaac pushes part of the wall down, creating a cloud of dust to obscure Juba's line of sight. He fires several rounds at the trash heap, but remains uncertain whether he has hit his target. Later, Isaac stands in the open, waiting for Juba to shoot him. When no shot comes, he begins to believe he has killed the sniper. The response team lands, placing Isaac on a medical stretcher alongside Matthew's body. Desperately, Isaac tries to warn them about Juba, but the noise from the helicopters drowns out his voice. As the helicopter takes off, Juba fires and kills all the Marines on board, including the pilot. The helicopter crashes violently to the ground. In the final scene, the anonymous sniper Juba is heard on the radio, impersonating a distressed soldier and requesting another response team to walk into his next trap. Thank you for watching.